Unlike you posh lot with your tractors, some of us have to do it a manual way, exposed to the feckin' elements. I'm pulling this to put over the bale. To then hook onto this. So the boring mundane of getting hay to sheep. Crank that baby tight. So we then switch that to in and pray the switch works. Oh, feck. Nope, it's not working. Oh, there we go. Yeah. It just needed some exercise. Here comes my bale. And it's working. The bolt is in. Come on, baby. Keep coming. Keep coming. And then put the bolt on. And now I kick this one in and drive off to feed the sheep. And it's not raining right this moment, but that's between showers. Feed the sheep to keep them from the gate. Here's where we go. Mundane farming chores. Geez, I hope the buckets don't fall off. Through 2 gates. We're sliding all over the fucking place because it's so wet. To a sliding stop. Put the baby in park. Hello, ladies. Time for breakfast. Feckin' brutal wet. Hey, you two. Hay to be done next. All this lot are in here eating. First, you need food. Everybody very happy. I'll close this gate because sheep eat faster than the alpaca, and I want the alpaca to have their food. So we close that, and they're lovely enclosed, so that then I can deliver this bale of hay. But I have to wade through some water first. For your amusement, I have to get up that hill, which is saturated and really slippery. Those tracks are from when it was frosty, so it wasn't so difficult to come up and down the hill. We're going to see if we can race up and not skidoo all over the place. Hopefully I can do this one-handed, holding this phone. This is going to be very interesting. Well, let's hope it's not too interesting for my sake. Not going up that way, too steep. Going with the curve of the hills now. spraying everywhere. And you can see the mucky track I made coming up the hill. So next is to unload, which is really easy. Just switch that to out. Oh dear. Oh, I've got to step on this because the weight. There, step on that. Unhook that. Get rid of that in the mud. Let go. And then I have to undo the strap and then move the ring feeder around that after removing the plastic. Can't do that with a video on. My little assistant, as I pull the plastic wrap off of the round bale before I put the ring feeder around it so the sheep don't make such a mess of it. So this plastic wrap all has to come off, and because I don't have a tractor, I do it all by hand with Inca's help, of course, as you can see. Watch out, little pup. She's being so helpful. You're being so helpful. You're being such a helpful pup. So that's that. Pepper, don't piddle on it. See, probably when it was out in the field, another dog, when it was out in the field having been harvested before it was collected, probably other dogs peed on it, or foxes, etc. So a lot of times my dogs like to, you helping, you're being very helpful, aren't you? Yes, being frightfully helpful. So Pepper just marks his territory when I put out a new bale. Oh, you're all tangled up. It got tangled in you, didn't it, pup? Whereas these two are waiting. Now, and a real tractor drives by. One day my quad will grow up to be a real tractor like that one maybe. Except that's a John Deere, so I won't be getting one of them. Inca's being so helpful. Because I have to move these so often, I use these clips for, instead of the bolts. Normally there's bolts because normal farmers have a tractor. So they can lift this out as one unit. I don't, so I sometimes have a problem. But I think that's partially because I'm doing this one-handed filming with the other hand. So it's being a pain in the arse. Oh, and that one's gone back and bolted itself. Oh, the joys. Well, that's one pocketed, and this one is just acting the maggot. Oh, come on. There we go. And there, it's gone over there into the sheep shit. So now I move these over to here, and that entails a bit of muscle. And so we say, like, who needs a gym when you don't have a tractor? And now all the dogs are going to play on the leftover hay. So usually I do this with two hands, but shooting the video, I'm doing it with one. So it's a little bit more energetic. Now they've all gone off to chase a squirrel while I'm left to work. Except for the big fella, standing guard as always. Aren't you a good boy? Yeah. So that bale is now ready for animals to eat. The alpaca have finished their meal, so here's Oreo Bloom coming to have first dibs on the hay. With there in the distance you can see Inti coming. No, not Inti, that's Paku. And Inca. Inca, you're going to get in trouble with Oreo Bloom. But I still have to spread this leftover bit of hay, just because if I leave it in a pile like this, it'll get stomped on. Whereas if I spread it out into smaller piles, like that, it's more likely the sheep will eat it, because if it's all in one pile here, they'll just stomp all over it and pee all over it. So the two alpacas are happily eating. I now have to close this gate. You can see my tracks from previous hay bale trips. So close this gate, and then I've got to go up the hill and release the sheep. So sheep are up there, and they'll be very happy. Switcher off. You guys are going to be very happy, aren't you? You're going to all gallop to the hay. You can see how wet it is. There's quite the flow of water here, making this very sloppy ground to walk in. And my little engineering work there has worked really well. You can hear the gates singing. You think there's more food for you? You've just come from your new hay bale. You silly girl. You should be getting first dibs on the hay. I'm about to release the masses, the hordes, the hungry hordes. Inca loves going up the water trough, or whatever we call this thing here, my little ditch, to keep the feeding area easy. Okay, ladies, come on, girls. Come on. Go on, girls. Come on. There we go. A few at a time. Woo! The great white yoke gallops through. A few at a time, because we don't want to crush at the gate, because they're all getting pregnant. Some of them aren't. That's a ewe lamb. So we don't want them to be bashing each other too much. So I slowly walk up, but then sometimes decide they just want to stop. So you have to go up there. Look at that, 4 in a row stopped. You kind of got to go, come on. Come on. Shifty, shifty, guys. And they're heading up to drink some of the water further up. And then some are more brainy and are going to go straight to the hay. And Inca's going to play in the water. Poor Aggie's feeling a little delicate. She's got a sore foot. I treated it yesterday. So tomorrow she should be completely better and completely sound. There we go. And here we are, heading off in the wet muck, as you can see, to the fresh bale of hay. And I'm going to slide down this hill if I'm not careful. It's so slippery. Heading off to the hay.